And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 for championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to TSP Wagers. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Lats. Here as always with my man, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson. Welcome to the program, Ben. How you doing tonight?
Not too bad. Can't complain. Warriors win. Got to go to a Sharks game last night. Loving life. Birthday on Monday. Shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Cannot complain.
That's right, man. Happy birthday. Hopefully the Sharks game was good. I think they lost.
We did lose, but it was fun. It was my one and only Sharks game this year because of the whole COVID thing. But last game of the season at home can't hurt to go to it. It was fucking empty, but
And the Knights are out of the playoffs.
thank God. And I'm so glad that we had a hand in that. So glad.
Yeah. So that's always a beautiful thing, man. I went to the local brewery today and was talking with
they were so sad.
I was talking with them about about the Knights missing the playoffs, and they were pretty upset about it. But
Oh yeah, well, first time that they've done it, so
yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
first time they have missed the playoffs. But we're gonna be diving into some NHL playoffs games as we move along with wagers. We actually got some big things on the horizon, which we'll eventually share once it gets laid out. You're definitely gonna want to stay locked in for that. But obviously, as we got the NFL draft tomorrow, Ben. Here in Vegas, they're expecting 1 million people, from what I'm hearing, in Vegas.
Nuts.
And then we got 3 NBA playoff games tomorrow, as well as a full slate of Major League Baseball games. So just a ton of sports going on tomorrow. And there's been a lot of draft talk bets as well recently. Crazy thing is, in Nevada, dude, listen to this. All the books in the state had to take down NFL draft props at 5 p.m. today. They could not take wagers on them.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm guessing they're afraid, like, because all the NFL people are in town. I'm guessing they're afraid that, like, there's gonna be obviously inside information and they can, like, go to the window and fucking cash out on that.
Okay.
That's my assumption.
That's true.
Because I mean, if you think about it, the NFL draft is probably one of the most profitable ways you can win money if you have solid information, because you're not relying on 2 teams with multiple human beings playing a game. You're really just relying on concrete information. Like, if someone inside an organization tells you, we're taking this guy at this pick, that's a pretty solid guarantee, like 99.9%, unless something changes last minute, right? So that's what I think. So I mean, it's been interesting, like, dissecting the NFL draft this year, because I never even thought about it like that until I started hearing as to because I listened to a local radio station here, which is like Pure Sports Gambling, and they had one of the sports book managers on from one of the casinos, and that's what he was saying. So I was like, oh shit, why didn't I ever think about that? And that makes a ton of sense now.
Okay.
So basically, make friends with agents and people inside sports organizations, and you might get some inside information. But man, how else is your night, man? What are you sipping on? You sipping on something tonight?
Yeah, I went, for the Dubs win, I had to go a little bit bigger. So I went with some bourbon, and we're going with Old Elk Wheated Bourbon. It's a
Man, y'all didn't even cover, though.
I don't care. We made it to the second round of the playoffs. It's the first time since 2019. So
good teams win, great teams cover, Ben.
Well, we covered a lot of our other games, so I will I'll take it. What, 3 out of the 4 wins? I'll take it. But yeah, so I'm drinking a 113.4 proof. So it's a little bit heavier. So and this is the
Ooh.
5 year. It's definitely got a leg up on just their regular wheated bourbon.
That's a lot.
That's what she said.
What are you drinking?
I am sipping on the Beechwood Amalgamator IPA. Beechwood
Okay.
Brewing
Well,
Company. I haven't
pretty
even
cool can.
opened it yet. But this is a West Coast style IPA, so this is like my cup of tea. I've actually been sitting on this in the fridge for quite a while, so I'm hoping that this is good, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I can't even tell you how long it's been sitting on my fridge. It was canned in March, so we're almost
not too bad.
we're almost to May here.
That's not too bad.
It's been sitting in my fridge for a while, so we're gonna sip on this one. Hopefully, it's good. If it's not, I got another thing in the fridge right here, so we may possibly go to that. It all depends on how this beer tastes, if it's drinkable. But we got a lot of sports to talk about, Ben. So I'm glad you mentioned the Warriors because the game just wrapped up, obviously, right? The Warriors were -9 favorites. Actually got bet down to -8.5. Usually when a wager comes in that big, you should know something. I actually didn't bet this game. I bet it in the half because I felt that there was no way Aaron Gordon was going to continue playing as well as he did in the first half. So I was like, I'm taking Warriors -6.5. And obviously the Warriors won the second half. They won by 4 points. They were at 6. Curry had a chance to make it 7, misses a free throw. I was a little bummed there, dude. So
Yeah.
fuck your Warriors. But
I mean, like we were talking about before this, they hit a layup afterwards, so it's not necessarily all on Curry there. He was horrible.
but seven's
he's been horrible from the line
all series,
So,
dude. What the fuck is going on with him?
I don't know.
So speaking of not necessarily the free throws, but are you concerned at all with the next round facing either Minnesota or Memphis?
Yes, because Memphis has had our number all year, and I think last year too. But last year was a whole different story. But yeah, I am a little bit worried. I do see the Warriors playing better basketball than I think I've seen them play all season. Today was definitely they did not have that kind of like skip in their step like they usually do. So I'm worried just because of the playoffs, but I still think they'll be able to beat either of those teams.
I don't. I honestly don't think they'll
Of course
beat.
you don't.
No, I mean this is an objective take here. Like the Nuggets were the best draw of the first round because they're missing their 2 leading scorers, right?
Yep.
The series would be completely different if they had Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. And you could see that because for most of the series, really the Nuggets have been struggling to get anything going from anyone. I think Aaron Gordon, in that first half, he did find something. Like he was like, oh shit, like I can actually take Draymond Green to the basket. Like I can do all these things. But in the end, they just didn't have enough, dude. They just don't have enough right now because they're missing 2 20-point per game scores. That's a lot. You know what I mean? And when I heard the Warriors were going to this smaller lineup today, the Poole, Clay, Curry lineup, I said, yeah, that's cute against the Nuggets, dude. Like, that's going to work against them. But against these other teams, dude, they're going to pick that fucking lineup apart because Clay right now, dude, I'm telling you from watching these games, Klay Thompson is not the same on defense. Like, dudes are blowing right by him. He couldn't even blow by Jokic, dude. That's a concern. You know what I mean? Like, and I just think that you said it, the Memphis Grizzlies have the Warriors number. And I think that they're going to continue to have it. I just, they're just different. And Curry's missing free throws, dude. Like, he wasn't even that great tonight. You know what I mean? Like, he hit some nice shots, but he wasn't great.
I mean, nobody was really that great tonight, when we're looking at it. But
that's what I'm saying. They can't play like that
series,
and beat any of the other teams that are going to.
Well, but then let's look at the other 4 games. Like that, game 4, the only game that they lost, it was still an offensive firepower game with 147 points.
Yeah,
in
Poole
that
scored
game. And
30. How much? He scored 30 the first game. He scored 27 the second, and he scored like how many the
20,
third game?
29, I think.
29. And then they started scheming defensively towards him, and he hasn't scored over like 12 points in the last 2 games.
Yeah, but I also don't see anyone other than Ja who hasn't looked great. That I guess maybe Cat who has that offensive
Desmond Bane has been
prowess.
phenomenal for
Yeah,
Memphis. But the biggest
I'm
thing
I'm
about
more
Memphis is that
going back to Joker. Like he is that what was able to wear those Warriors down, and maybe Cat can do that,
well, Cat,
but I don't
yeah.
see. I don't see anybody else who's going to be playing that same type of game.
Well,
that
Memphis
can
plays a
really-
different style of basketball, though.
Oh, absolutely. But that was what was eating the Warriors down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, the Nuggets can't guard anybody. Like, their perimeter defenders aren't very good that they have out there, right? And on the flip side, like, they don't really have any perimeter guys that, like, need so much attention. So, the Warriors are able to kind of, like it's not a hard challenge for their guards and wings to guard those guys. Like, those are like average dudes, you know what I mean? But then you bring in Memphis and you have Ja, Desmond Bane, and Dylan Brooks. I mean, those are 3 great wings. Or you have Memphis where you have D'Angelo Russell, who's kind of been shitty, to be honest, in the playoffs. But you have Anthony Edwards, right? And then you also bring in Cat, who's a similar type player to Jokic. Well, I shouldn't say he is, but he can be. Cat can be one of the best players in the league if he wants to be. And if he puts forth that effort, which he's put forth in the last 2 games against Memphis, I mean, Minnesota's a totally different team. I think the Warriors would beat Minnesota, but I don't see Minnesota beating Memphis in that series, and I think Memphis is definitely a better team overall than the Warriors. I do think that's going to be a 6-7 game series. I don't think it's going to be no walk in the park.
Absolutely. On both sides, I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. But it's going to be honest, it's going to be coming down to Steph. And if Steph can play like 2019 Steph, because he hasn't been. I mean, even I guess 2021 Steph too. He played out of his mind last year.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the biggest thing, though, dude, is like you're relying on them to turn back the clock, and they didn't play. They didn't play very well in the second half of the season either.
No.
So it is
but again, I mean, we can look at both of those teams, Memphis and Minnesota, and see glaring issues that are happening right now with their players.
Yeah.
Ja's been locked down at least the first 3 games.
Yeah, but on the
Anthony
flip
Edwards
side, the
anything.
Warriors don't have Patrick Beverly on their team. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. I mean, obviously they probably play Gary Payton a little more, and honestly, that was a huge thing tonight. Was Gary Payton Jr. like
offensively and defensively?
Yeah, he was knocking down wide open shots because Denver was basically leaving him wide open, saying, "Okay, if this guy's gonna beat us, we'll live with that, dude. We will absolutely live with him beating us. But if you're gonna put him on the floor, he has to hit shots, and he was able to do that. Now, can he do that over the stretch of a series? I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's a big question mark. But great point there about that. That's gonna be a phenomenal series, dude. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think
fingers crossed. Memphis still got to win a game.
Yeah, I think either way, whether they play Memphis or Minnesota, it's going to be a great series.
Yeah, should be. That's it. I mean, that Memphis Minnesota series is crazy for a 2-7 series. That's a hell of a fucking series. Yeah. All right, let's hop into these games for Thursday though. So we got 3 games on deck. We're gonna break them down. We're gonna break them down one by one. So we're gonna start out East. Obviously, the first game of the day. We got the Philadelphia 76ers. They're heading into Scotiabank Arena in Toronto to face the Toronto Raptors. Raptors coming off 2 straight wins against Philly. The Sphinxsters are clenching over there in Philadelphia. Right now, Philly -1.5 favorites on the road. Toronto +1.5. Over under is 210.5. What's your do you have any thoughts on this? You want me to start this one?
I mean, either way, I'd go with the with Philly -1.5, with those -110 odds here. Big part of that is even though Embiid is is probable for Thursday, probably won't be at his top of his game. You do have Van Fleet out, which is a big offensive.
He's been out the
downgraded
last
to
2
doubtful.
games.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of in my eyes a big push for the 76ers. I think it is going to be a close game, but the way that the Sixers can be dominant, I think, is a big push to really take that 1.5 at least over the money line. It's only a 1.5, and it's going to get you another 10 points in your odds.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be going money line or
money line right now, Philly minus 123, Toronto plus 105.
Yeah, and spread is sitting at minus 110. So I'd go with the spread. Even some books have it at 1. I think average is just sitting at that minus 1.5.
Yeah, the minus 1.5 is basically every book in Vegas has a minus 1.5 right now. Circa, BetMGM, Caesars, and Station Casinos all at minus 1.5 right now.
Yeah,
I like Toronto here. I like Toronto to win this game. I like them to force a game 7. And this is just, honestly, this is a pure fade on Doc Rivers, because we have seen Doc Rivers teams drop leads like this time and time again. It does not matter who is on his team. It just continuously happens. So with that being said, like, I am taking Toronto to win this game. I like the plus 105. I like I'll take the points too, plus 1.5. And I also like the under, dude, because I think that Toronto, since Joel Embiid has gotten hurt, they've actually figured something out about attacking Joel Embiid off the dribble and making him like play defense in space, and he's not able to do it. And the one thing that Toronto does very well, which Miami does as well, is they switch everything, because they're very, like, they have a bunch of 6'7" wings, right? They're gonna throw Precious Achua, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, like all those long wings they're throwing out there, and they can switch everything. And what they've done recently is they've started actually scheming towards Tyrese Maxey and shutting him down. He's had 2 bad games in the games they won, and they're actually playing James Harden straight up. And they're saying they're playing Jim Harden straight up. I've changed his name. He is now Jim Harden because he's an old man.
He's an old man,
and he's lost his step.
I like it.
So they're saying, Jim, you are going to beat us if you are going to win this game. We will make you, and we know what Jim Harden does in the playoffs throughout his career. He crumbles in big moments. I do not like this Philadelphia team, Ben. I like the Raptors here.
Going to your point there, it's too early for them to crumble. We're
no,
gonna wait until
this is when they do it.
Round. No, we're
those sphinxers clinch, dude. They clinch, and they get nervous, dude. And all these Doc Rivers teams.
How is it clinched right now? It's 3-1 in the series. If we're at game 7, then I can.
It's 3-2, Ben. They won last game 5 in Philly.
Why did oh, there we go. Okay. I was looking at this as
it's 3-2.
Game 6, yeah.
No Matisse Thybulle either, who's their best wing defender as well. Because he's not vaccinated, cannot play in Canada.
That's weird. I was looking at game 6, and for some reason my document said 3-1. But anyways, to be honest, I do really like that under as well. But I still think.
Well, I think if you take that under, then you like Toronto, because that's the only way Toronto's going to win this game is if they limit Philadelphia offensively.
I don't necessarily think that if we're sitting at the under at 210.
Yeah, that's a low number. That's very low.
That's a low number. Yeah.
But look at the last 2 games. The games they won, Philadelphia only scored 88 and 102. That's it.
Yeah, in the games that they won. But if you look at the games that Philly won, they scored 104 and 112, limited
and 131.
And one of those in overtime. And yeah, I'm taking out that first game just because it's the first game feeling each other out and the high intensity and energy of game 1. Looking at game 2, you're well under that 2. Or sorry, not well under. You're at 109 at 209. You look at game 3, which went to overtime. You're looking at 205. Game 4. Sorry. those are the two that the 76ers won. But and then even then when so those both hit under, even when
Yeah, before
Toronto
the 5
won,
games
those
have gone
were-
under in this series.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, the first one went over. It was 131 to 111.
What was game 4? Because that's 212.
Game 4 was 212. It went under. It was 216.
Oh, it was up at 216. Okay.
Yep. And then, or I'm sorry, it was at 213. 213 it closed at. And then game 2 was 217. That went under. So actually, yeah, 4 out of 5 games have gone under in this series.
Yeah, I didn't realize that one was at 213.
I actually think 210 and a half is a little too low for me to play the under there. I don't necessarily love it, but if I loved the under 210 and a half, I would actually really love Toronto, to be honest, because they definitely want to limit Philadelphia's possessions, I think. But they, at the same time, like Toronto wants to speed up the pace, I think, because they want to play Joel off the floor. So I think that's interesting. I really like Toronto money line here. This is just a total fade on Doc Rivers, dude.
Yeah.
I just do not trust Doc Rivers in this position, dude. I just don't think it's going to be pretty. This happened last year, dude, with the
I'm
Hawks.
going with the better team, with the 76ers.
Are they the better team, though?
It's
because Toronto's a
they're
good
the better
team, bro. And
Toronto's
look at
a good team. Toronto just has. I think Toronto has issues. They're a young team.
They are. Well, I mean, they got dudes that won a championship on that team. OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. Obviously, Fred VanVleet's not going to play, but he won a title with them. It's a team and Nick Nurse is a fucking championship coach, dog. This is a chip coach. He's a hell of a fucking coach, too. That's why the Lakers want him.
Still going -1.5.
Well, Ben is losing this game. No, I'm just joking. One of us is losing this game.
You're going it on on an edge with the coach being a historical.
I mean, dude, he's a historical loser, though. Like, this is the kind of games he loses. This isn't just one or two times. I mean, I'm talking like over a decade worth of.
We're still in the first round.
Yeah, but I mean, he's done this every round. It doesn't matter. He's had one of the best teams of all time, and he's done this with the Boston Celtics against Orlando Magic in 2009. I mean, dude, he's done this his entire career, dude.
Yep.
Telling you,
my numbers tell me to go Philly here.
You can't always bet numbers in the playoffs. I'm fading Doc Rivers. Give me the Toronto Raptors, forcing the Game 7. I actually think they may win this series, to be honest. Because if Philly does not win this series, it goes back to Philadelphia. Woo! That stadium is going to be very uptight. Talk about sphincters being clenched, dude. That entire stadium is going to have sphincters clenched, dude. It's a lot of pressure. All right, let's move on to this next game. We got the Dallas Mavericks against the Utah Jazz. This has been a fucking shit show of a series, but this series should honestly be over. Utah won a game winner on game 4 with a Rudy Gobert tip back. I mean, Dallas dominated that game, dude. There's no Utah. I can't even believe they won that game. Yep. Donovan Mitchell, this guy is one of the lowest IQ shot selection players I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude. Like, this dude takes the worst shots I've ever seen. And it doesn't even surprise me that his teammates don't want to play with him. And that's what it seemed like last game, dude. It just seemed like they were so defeated, bro, like after that first quarter, because they were taking terrible shots. And I'll be honest, like, they missed a lot of open shots too, but like that team just looked defeated, bro. They shot like 10% from 3 in that game. It was just nasty stuff. Yeah. I cannot believe this game is at a pick'em, dude. This game actually opened Utah -3, got bet all the way to some places Dallas +1, +1.5. It's now a pick'em game, dude. I said on Twitter after this game, I tweeted out, I said, this game has to open Dallas -4 in Utah. Like, because the books have been so wrong about this series, dude. Utah hasn't covered a single game in the series. No. And remember, Luka didn't even play the first 2 games. Mm-hmm. Bro, give me the Dallas Mavericks all fucking day. Like, if they I'm taking Dallas all the way up to -4. Give me a -3.5, -3, -2.5, -2, -1.5, -1. Pick them plus points. I love it. I took it when it first opened at plus points. Bro, this is like a no-brainer to me. Like, this is the books being way off again. They've just been off about Utah all series long, dude. Like, what do they see in Utah? Like, I don't get it.
I mean, I couldn't tell you. Other than Gobert and Mitchell, this team doesn't.
But Mitchell's been so bad.
Well, no, but it lacks depth. And I mean, I know you've got Bogdanovich, Whiteside, Jared Butler, Mike Conley, but it doesn't have, like, those aren't players that I see as one of those guys can come in and change the game.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Like, that's something that you need in the playoffs. And
bro, Jalen Brunson,
Ben, it's gonna happen.
Ben, Jalen Brunson is leading the playoffs in scoring. Can you believe that shit? Leading the playoffs in scoring, Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell is shooting. He's averaging 26 points, but he's averaging 26 points on 23 field goals per game. 37% from the floor, 20% from three, dude. That is so bad. Like,
yeah. Yep.
Like,
not even 20, like 19 and a half.
And he's probably not even going to play tomorrow, dude. He's questionable, but I mean, like, he left the game with a hamstring injury. I can't imagine he's going to be like 100% next game unless he was like.
He's definitely not playing 38 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I mean, that honestly, to be honest, dude, Donovan Mitchell not playing might actually elevate them, dude. I'm not even going to lie about that. That's how bad he's been, dude. Like, he's just been chucking up shots, dude. Like, it's nasty to watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Dallas here. You gotta take Dallas. I just don't understand.
You have to.
I don't understand how the odds makers are coming up with this shit. Like, they've been so off on this series, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How is this a pick 'em? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't see that it's a pick 'em.
It's a pick 'em at Circa.
At Circa, okay.
It's depending on the book you get. It's like +1, Dallas, pick 'em. I mean, definitely shop around for that, because I think if you get plus points for Dallas, I think the better it is. But I do think that Dallas is the better team. Obviously, like, they've honestly looked better all series. This hasn't even been very close. I'd also take the over here. I don't love the under. 2 of the 4 games have gone over. The first game, Luka didn't play, so I kind of like take that one with a grain of salt. So I'll say 2-2 over under in this series. I just think 210 is really low, and I don't see either team scoring like under 80 again. Like, that was an anomaly. I do think that Utah being at home.
You look at the last 2, though; those have been very low, 199 and
they have
179.
But like I said, like last game,
change that.
Last game, like Utah, you could just tell after fourth quarter they were still in the. After the first quarter, they were in the game, and then Donovan Mitchell, like, Dallas would go on a little run. Like, Dallas didn't even play that great, I thought. Like, they were just better. And then Utah was just missing everything. And you got to credit Dallas's defense for that too. But Utah was taking such bad shots that, like, it just looked like their body language, like, they just gave up, dude, because Donovan Mitchell was like shooting them out of the game, basically. Like, he was dribbling up, fucking 23 seconds on the shot clock, fucking shooting like a 27-foot 3-point shot. Like, you got to get better offense in that, man. And it just looked like they gave up.
I just don't see how this really goes over, though.
Man, if Mitchell doesn't play, I actually think Utah has a chance to win. As crazy as that sounds. I still like Dallas, though.
Yeah, I'm going with Dallas here. I'm gonna stay away from that over under. I think.
I lean the over.
I mean, you make some good points there, but I just don't see them.
Like, dude, they shot 10%. They shot under 10% from 3 last game. Like, there's no way an NBA team's gonna shoot multiple games under 10% from 3.
Absolutely.
Unless you're the Atlanta Hawks.
But you're asking them to put up another 30 points.
Yeah. I mean, they could do that though. They have the ability to. You know what I mean? Like they're not a. That's the thing with Utah is like they're not a bad team, but I mean we've seen these 2 playoffs in a row where they're like more of a regular season type team. I do think that they're better offensively than last game for sure, dude. And they're gonna be at home. Like they haven't scored under 100 at home all year, so they're gonna get at least 100. It's just a matter of whether they're ready for Cancun or not, you know. Yeah, but I mean, on the same end, like look at the Chicago-Milwaukee game tonight, dude. Like Chicago hadn't scored over 85 points in 2 of the last 3 games. They come in tonight and they score over 100, even though it looked like they were dead in the water because it was such a blowout at the end. Like they were just able to put up points. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, with the more even teams though, I think that defense is going to come out a little bit stronger. I don't think
this is an even team though, and they can't. That's the thing with Utah is like their perimeter defense sucks, but Gobert's so good protecting the rim. Like he erases a lot of the mistakes on the perimeter. Honestly, Gobert would be a perfect fit for the Warriors right now if they wanted to play that Poole, Clay, Curry lineup, dude.
Yep. Have him and Draymond down low.
Well, Draymond's not a rim protector. Draymond's just great because he can switch out on the perimeter.
Yeah.
So
but I'm saying if you do have Poole, Curry, and Clay out there, then
but then you also have to ask Draymond at that point to start shooting threes when he's wide open. Motherfucker passes up wide open shots, dude. Like I don't get it. That's another story. All right, let's move on to the third game, Ben. We got the Phoenix Suns against the New Orleans Pelicans in one of the better series, but only because Devin Booker got hurt.
Devin Booker's been out, yeah.
Phoenix is -2 favorites. New Orleans +2. Right now on the money line, Phoenix Suns -130. New Orleans Pelicans +112. Over under is 214 right now. What do you think about this one?
I'm only going to go Pelicans here because I think this is going 7. And
Devin Booker may play this game, by the way. He's listed as questionable for tomorrow.
I see him listed as out indefinitely.
Out indefinitely if you're looking on Oddshark, but the team officially listed him as questionable for Game 6.
I think that's probably just more for mind games.
Could be. He was telling Pelicans players as they were walking off the court, I'm back. He said that. I am back. What you think? You still like Pelicans?
Still like Pelicans. What was just saying 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think Booker comes back here. And I think this is going to be a 7-game series because of that. So I'm going to go with Phoenix here. I'm sorry, with the New Orleans here. I'll take the 2 points. I'd go with the +115. Definitely better odds there. And, it's just Chris Paul's been getting frustrated. Booker has obviously been out, and the depth that Phoenix has is kind of questionable with the way that Bridges has been playing. Cam hasn't been doing great. Embiid's been good, or not Embiid, excuse me. Ayton's been good, but he just doesn't seem like he is the Ayton of last year, which definitely changed the way that Phoenix played. So I'm still going to go with New Orleans here. I think it's going to Game 7. Game 7 is completely up in the air, in my opinion.
Well, the thing with DeAndre Ayton is he actually has the highest plus-minus of anybody on the Suns. It's just a matter, he just has to stay on the floor. He got in foul trouble a couple of games. But last game, when he was on the floor, like, the Suns dominated the game. Like, it wasn't even close when he was on the floor. So I think that's a very important part of what the Suns want to do. And when they implement DeAndre Ayton, I just don't think that the Pelicans have anyone that can really contain him, dude. And the thing that's been keeping the Pelicans afloat is is that Brandon Ingram has really taken that step. Like, he's that good of a player, right? He's been arguably the best player in the series, to be honest. But I like the Suns to close this out tomorrow with or without Devin Booker, to be honest. Like, I would take the money line just to be safe. I would also lay the points. I think I would take a -2. I think they unlock something, and I think the Pelicans pissed the Suns off in Game 4 when they basically like ran up the score when the game was over. And you saw the Suns, dude, in Game 5, they ran up the score when the game was over too. The game was well out of hand, and they kept fucking throwing dunks down on fucking steals and shit or missed baskets, dude. They were pissed off. And that's something you don't want to do to a veteran team. I like the Suns here. Even if Chris Paul isn't that great, I think DeAndre Ayton is that key factor. And I think that the Suns realized last game that they don't have an answer for DeAndre Ayton. And I think DeAndre realizes that as well. I like the Suns here. I like him to close this game out, dude.
Big problem though if he gets in foul trouble again.
Yeah, he's got to stay out of foul trouble, man. He has to stay out of foul trouble for sure. And he's got to stay on the court, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And because when he's on the court and Jonas Valanciunas is on the court, like, he's eating Jonas Valanciunas up, dude. Like, it's nasty. He's really eating everybody up. But when he gets off the court, that's when the Pelicans are really making their run in this series. Like I said, he is the best plus-minus for anybody on the Suns roster, dude. Like, so he's definitely the most valuable player for them. But at the same time, like, the Suns won this game in Game 4 or 5, and Jake Crowder was in foul trouble all game. Like, you know, and Chris Paul, he only scored like 2 points in the second half, and they still won the game, pretty. Dude, which I don't think bodes well if you're a Pelicans fan, dude. So I like the Suns here. I also I don't really love the over-under. I would lean the under just because these games have been going they've kind of all been all over the place in this series, to be honest.
They really have been all over the place, yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't love the over-under on this game. I would just take Phoenix money line. I think that's my best bet of this game.
Okay. I'm going to go with do I want the points? It's not bad value to take the points. Anywhere from 105 to 110.
No, it's not. The points. If you like the Pelicans, you might as well take the points, especially at home. It's always a smart play. All right. Let's rewind it. Let's recap, Ben. 3 best bets. 1 pint, 2 pint, 3 pint. 1 pint being your least favorite. 3 pint being your most favorite. Let's start it out. 1 pint bet. What are you going with?
1 pint bet. We're going to go Pelicans +2. Sitting at -105.
Ben's going +2 Pelicans as his 3 pint bet. My 3 pint bet, we're going to go Dallas at a pick'em.
I said it's going to be my 2 pint bet of the night. My 2 pint bet of the night is going to be 76ers Toronto under 210.5.
76ers Toronto under 210.5 for the second pint bet of the night. My second pint bet of the night, we're going to go Phoenix money line -130. What's your 3 pint?
3 pint bet of the night is going to be Dallas pick'em.
Dallas at a pick'em. And my 1 pint bet of the night, we are going Toronto Raptors money line +105. We're getting plus money on this baby. Get it in before it goes down.
On Doc, huh?
Let's go. Yes, sir. Dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's going to happen. And then you're going to see and you're going to be like, damn, I should have seen the light. But thank y'all for hanging out with us. Hopefully we gave y'all some positive information to make your bets for tomorrow for the NBA playoffs. If not, you can always fade us. Let us know how you do. Hit us up on Twitter at JordanRulesTSP, at Taproom_sports. You can also hit us up on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. Hit us up, taproomsportspodcast.com. Make sure to go to devour.com or download the Devour app straight to your mobile device and use promo code Taproom for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. For Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson, I am Jordan Stacks on Stacks on Stacks Lats. I will be back tomorrow night to recap the NFL draft with Mr. Raider Eddie. We'll be discussing.
I'll be there too.
Oh yes, Ben, you are joining. We're doing a full group podcast. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. So we'll be back tomorrow night. Make sure to tap in after the NFL draft. You're definitely going to want to tune into that. And then Ben and I will be back for Taproom on Sunday, maybe with a big announcement as well. Well, we will have a big announcement on Sunday, so you're definitely going to want to tap in for that. We are out of here. Let's get this money, baby. And let's go.
Love it.